Hey Artlets, it's Suzanne here. It's Thursday, our regular time for Facebook Live. Saying hi to everybody. Just waiting for everything to warm up. So today we're going to do shaker cards. And we're going to do 3 different kinds of shaker cards. So let me get the technical stuff out of the way here. Notifications. No, it's not going to tell me that I'm live. Boy, sometimes I just don't get Facebook. I don't know about you guys, but I sure don't. I'm just going to go back over here. Nope, that's not going to work. Sorry. It's just the last 2 times I've been on, the feed I get, there it is. The feed I get just, oh, Charmaine, you're there. Oh, I can actually see comments. Like I say, the last 2 times I've done this, all as I've seen is when people came on board, and I never saw any of the comments, so I'm seeing the comments now. So that's a good start for the new year. So I know I've been on since New Year's, but Happy New Year again. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little tired of this quarantine stuff. Not really quarantine, but just don't go anywhere. Stay home. So hopefully you're not feeling as isolated as I am. Not that I demand a lot, but it's just I do like my freedom. So, anybody made any New Year's resolutions? Hope not. I'm planning on, I have some plans, but I don't have any resolutions. So, you may remember last week, it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago, I talked about the tag challenge we're doing on Quietfire. Oh, no, it's not on Quietfire Design. That's where we are. It's on the Suzanne Cannon fan page. And we're just taking number 5 tags, or really any size tags. We're not being particular. And we're challenging you to make 1 a week. Now, this is one from the first week. This was the second week. This was supposed to be blues. but I put some pan pastels on the top of it, and it went to kind of a copper color. I was trying to pick up the copper in the tag. Anyways, if you want to join us, we'd be happy to have you. It's on the Suzanne Cannon fan page, and I think Kathy Jo is on with us, and she will give you the link for that, and you're welcome to come join us. In fact, the more the merrier. And today I'm actually going to start with the tag I made 2 weeks ago, and it kind of spawned things, and I decided, okay, we're going to do shaker cards. Now, these are 3 different styles of shaker cards, and we're going to start with the peekaboo shaker card, and I'm going to put these 2 aside. Now, the thing you really need for a shaker card is transparencies, and these are the ones I have. I bought 100 of them. I've still got loads left, so you probably don't have to buy this many, but I do use them in digital stuff sometimes when I want things to look like they're flying off something else, like I'll use a little strip of transparency and a star at the end. So anyways, you're going to need transparencies for this technique. And you probably already have those stashed away somewhere. And okay, the first one we're going to do is this peekaboo one. And this is hang on a sec, got to get my toys together here. So this is the tag we made 2 weeks ago. And it has on the back, just it's just a peekaboo. So you can see whatever is underneath, if it's whatever. And I thought, well, okay, let's do some shaker cards. So, and I've had shaker stuff forever. And you know what? I don't even know where my shaker stuff is. Can you believe that? I came in here without, oh, to turn off all the lights. Can you tell it's going to be one of those days? Oh. You guys, I'm going to have to leave you because I don't have very much of my shaker stuff. But I'll show you this one anyway. I do have this one. Boy, everything's going wrong today. Let me tell you, it's been a couple of weeks like this. So this was a tag I made a couple of weeks ago. Kathy Jo will give you the link to the 2 weeks ago video. And it's basically an inlay technique. And we put a transparency on the back. But this time we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to make it into a shaker. So what I did, the other thing you're going to need is some. This is Crafty foam tape. You don't have to use the this particular brand. This is Scrapbook Adhesives brand, and it comes in black, which is kind of nice. Now I did not use that for this. I used this. The white one, and everything's falling apart here. And you know, I am going to have to run, but and then you'll have to talk amongst yourselves. But these are dollar store things. Now, how cute are those? Like it was a stack of about maybe 4 little vials like this, little containers, and they had all pink things in them. And I mean, that's pretty inexpensive when you can get stuff like that at the dollar store. So I took this tag that had the transparency on the back, and I've started to put down, this isn't going to stick very well, is it? Because it fell off. I cut these strips in half lengthwise. So I just took a long piece like that. I'm going to actually do it for part of this. I'm going to take that. So I cut a long strip because you have to make, basically you have to make a little container for the shaker part. So you're going to make yourself a little dam out of this adhesive tape. Now this is pretty wide, so it's kind of, hopefully I'm not working off the... And the other thing I was supposed to bring in was my scissors that are, this is really sticky, my scissors that are non-stick. And oh my goodness. Okay, this is going to be a really good lesson in what not to do. Okay, I'm going to put, I have a little piece of release paper that I'm just putting that on. And then yes, and I can put this on here. I don't have to leave a little gap because what I'm going to do is, okay, I have this all dammed off, and there's a transparency there. That's what we did in the last tag session. And all you have to do is pour in some of these fun bits and pieces. And some little hearts. And that you can put aside for the next project. And then the last thing you have to do, well, yeah, this is, if you're following the tag directions from the last video, then you don't need this step if you're still using that tag. But you do have to put a piece of transparency behind the Bliss tag. And then all you're going to do is strip off. I'm not explaining this very well because I'm rattled because I didn't bring my I have a whole basket of toys and I don't know where they are right now. I have a room where I cut stuff, and I have my drafting table. Too many places that I work and things get put all over. Plus I'm trying to straighten up and modernize. This usually comes off better. There we go. So this is the double-sided foam tape that I've cut down to make a little, oops, naughty. You know, seed beads are the greatest thing because they actually rattle. Things like sequins, they don't rattle very much, and it's just really fun if you're going to make a shaker to have something that makes noise. You know what, and the other thing is, I cut my nails. I tell you. Okay, you be good. And then you're going to want to use white for the background tag. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to have to start drinking heavily after this Facebook Live. And I don't drink, so there you go. It's going to be one of those days. And actually, I don't want that tied up in there because I'm going to tie it through the two. And I'm going to line this up so that it lines up perfectly. It's not exactly the same size. I digitally cut these and I changed the file. And there we have it. And ta-da! And you could, if you wanted, you could put another little piece of foam there so it doesn't compress. But if you're going to tie ribbon on there, then it doesn't matter. Ta-da, there we go. And you can tie that up or however you want. I'm sure you make it look much nicer than mine. But when you get that, it's kind of fun. It rattles. And like I say, it's the seed beads that make the little rattly sound. Okay, so that's number one. That's kind of a peekaboo shaker card. And you could do that with a card. It doesn't have to be a tag. I just happened to have this tag and I went, as soon as I made it last week, 2 weeks ago, I went, oh, this is like on its way to a shaker card. So, okay, so that's number one. Now, number two, we're going to do, what did I call it, Kathy Jo? I sent you a bunch of links. Low profile shaker. So that is this one. And I have a bunch of things. And all the little bits and pieces. Because sometimes if you want to mail something, you don't want a really thick shaker. But it's just so much fun to have a shaker. So let me get out all these little bits and pieces. And somewhere I have the sample card, but I don't know what I did with it. Oh boy, I tell you, there it is. Hello, there you are. Come to mommy. There we go. So we're going to do this one. And basically how you do this one is you make a pocket. So it's not so high profile. It doesn't have that big, thick rim of foam tape. So for this one, what you're going to do first, and again, like I talked about a couple of weeks ago, was when you cut your transparencies, put a little bit of washi tape on it or a Post-it note, and then you'll be able to find them. So first thing you might want to do, this is what I did. I typically use a 5x7 card base, so I did white, because if you want to see, can you see that? I'm going to slide that down. I'll move that out of the way in a minute. But what you want to do is be able to see all the bits and pieces. So you don't want a really busy background. And I was going for the Valentine Day look. So I chose to use the Elizabeth Craft Designs stitched rectangles because it makes kind of an interesting border there. So I'm going to put those away because they take up a lot of room. I've got all my rectangles together. That's why it's such a big mess. So the first thing you're going to want to do is decide what kind of panel you want in front. So I chose one of the rectangles that I thought looked pretty good. And then I cut another rectangle out of the inside of that so that this would make a frame. And then the next thing we need to do is take you need to cut these. Now, you can cut them the same size as the frame, as the outside of the frame, but I kind of liked cutting them a little smaller, but you want to make sure it's not going to fall through. So you're going to cut 2 of those because you're going to make a little pocket. So let's make a little pocket. See how fast I can do this. And you know, you might be tempted to use a tape runner, but I think maybe it's better to use this serious tape. It takes a little longer, but it takes a little longer, but it's secure. It's not going to come apart. All your seed beads and sequins and things are not going to slide all over the place. Now, one of the things that I used with this, besides the standard, you know, you can buy at the craft store and the dollar store, seed beads, was I actually used the Pawprints and Hearts die cut dies and used all the hearts that fell out. And I think this is sold out, unfortunately. So you might have to hunt around and see if you can find all these hearts. They're all different shapes and sizes. And then I just put those inside. Okay, let's skip along with this. And I do have to seal up those edges. I have to be a bit more careful about how long I make this. I'm afraid if I go out to get all the other toys for shakers that the cat's going to come in, but maybe he can entertain you for a few minutes. He's probably out there knocking over all my digital cutting file samples. I know him. Okay, let's take this release paper off here and put that on top. And I'll have to do the same over here. There. Now, I mean, you can scrounge around in your stash for things that you can put in your shaker card. Oh, you know something that's really important? Don't leave your bit of washi tape on the inside. That would be what I would do today. Okay. Isn't this exciting, watching me take off release paper? I know I have to go back to that other corner there. So you're just going to make a pouch. But you have to be a bit careful here because you don't want, I shouldn't have taken one of those, aha. You can tell I don't make these every day. Okay, I'm gonna put that back on because I'm gonna put these back to back and I can probably take off that washi tape now. I'm not doing very well working right in front of you, am I here? Bad Suzanne. There we go. Okay, yes, don't forget to take off that washi tape if it's going to be on the inside. Now, like I say, you're going to want to make a pocket. Oops, line these up. You know, even if you make a mistake, because this transparency is so slick and it's not absorbent, you can get things apart again if you have to, but it's better if you don't. Okay, so there you have a little pocket. And then what you want to do is put your little treasures inside. Now, I wonder, did I really bring that in? Looking all over here, I have Christmas stuff and, well, let's go back and do this. I mean, it's really nice if you can put these, you know what? Talk amongst yourselves and I will be right back because I have the greatest stash of stuff, so hold tight. I'm back. I had just put a piece of cardstock on the top of the little bin of stuff. So here's my other little dollar store find. That's got glitter in it. I'm back. And this is stars, little sequiny stars. And these are other little sequiny flower shaped things. But like I say, you know, snoop around, like dollar store, yay. Okay, let's put that over there. I wasn't gonna use that. Now, these are seed beads that I've had forever. I'm kind of going with the pink here. So I'm not going to use these particular seed beads. But there's sets like this out there. Now, I've had these for bazillion years. Not that long. A couple of years anyway. And they're from Queen and Company, and I guess they're Fimo. So they are... Those shapes are Fimo, so there's hearts and stars in there. And these are beads. And these are sequiny things. And they come in like a rainbow set. So it's awesome to just use a few of each in there. Now, actually, I think I was kind of chintzy here. I should have put more stuff in. So, okay, let's have a look at this. What did I put in there? I put in some of these hearts. You sure don't want these to spill. Some hearts, some beads, and let's put in some of these sequins. I didn't put in the sequins. I did put in gold hearts that I had die cut from the set. And of course I haven't opened these ones up yet. So I have to take a peek. Oh, gee. Let's do this one. These are the beads. But keep in mind, if you start putting in really thick things, then it's not going to be a low profile. Oh, boy. I can hear you guys laughing. You're sending sympathy vibes my way. It's that kind of day. So you're going to want to do all that. Get your stuff in there. And if there's too much, well, you can still take it out. You still have that chance. And maybe you want some white stuff in there. Okay, I'm going to manhandle this. And I'm going to pull that up. Hang on. Tape sticks to my finger. It's like I've had too much coffee today, but I've had the normal amount. Okay. And we know the sequins are pretty flat, so that'll be okay. That's a pretty pinky thing, but then we're going with a white card, so let's stick with it. Let's have a look at how that looks. Looks like it needs more, doesn't it? How about some white? Because white will always show up. Hang on a sec. Again, I have never opened this, so it's taped down. Oh, Kitty is upset because I came out and then I came back in. Whoa, there, lots. Okay, so we have stuff happening there. Got no hearts because for some reason those didn't come in here. Boy, some days are just not the best. Okay, if I'm happy with what I have there, what I'm going to do is peel this back just at the edge there so I can get hold of the release paper. And pull that up and flatten it down. And ta-da! Now I have a flat shaker pocket. And what I want to do is put it back there. So let's do a quick. Now, what I want to do is actually put the adhesive on here and closer to the outside edge. And then you don't have it coming up, like lifting up anywhere. Let's move these guys out of the way and where they're safe, so I don't end up with the cat eating all the little beads off the floor. That's more a dog thing, isn't it? My cat likes bubble wrap. I came and found a bunch of things on the floor that he dragged out. So you can do all 4 sides of this. And you don't have to worry about leaving a pocket because we're not sealing anything in. And again, I wouldn't recommend using unless you have a really, really strong tape runner. But in general, at least in my experience, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with that. So, okay, so we're going to position this. And you know, hey, you guys, come on. Come on. Move around. Don't get stuck in the corner. Of course it is. Whoa, they're really in love with each other. What I did earlier was I took and used a glue dot or 2 in the corner so I could just position this in place. Because when you put the frame on, it's going to seal the whole thing down. So I'm just going to stand up here and center that where I'm going to want it. You know, that's really going to bug me though. There they go. There we go. And then I'm just going to, let's get that straight. Where I put those glue, where did I put those glue dots? We're not going to worry about it. And then we're going to take the release paper off here. Sure we are. Nope, not that way. There we go. Boy, I wonder what the mailman thinks when they deliver this kind of stuff. Okay. And then once you have that in place, you can just make sure that the whole thing is covered. And there's none of the edge of the shaker pouch. I think you can actually buy shaker pouches, but it's not something I've ever looked for. Let's get that out of there so it's... Boy, these things really like the corners. Once this is pushed down, though, it's not going to move a whole lot. And there you have it. So there's the pouch sealed in there, and it's not too deep. And then the last thing we're going to do is put forever on there. Let's move that down so we can see forever. So you put forever, cherish, you could combine die sets. And, well, I guess for you, there's the just for you. You could do that. And, you know, the old technique, flip it over, use your fingernail, roll the glue dot and stick it on. And if you're super brave, you can use double-sided adhesive and die cut the cardstock with the double-sided adhesive on the back and stick it down. Won't be very forgiving though. So if you get it crooked or it's not centered, the first one I did, it wasn't centered, but I could peel it back up. And I'm going to put another one just so the flourish stays down. This is just for demonstration. I might add more than this if I was shipping it away. Oh, it's stuck to my fingernail, not the paper. Okay. There we go. And then you're going to want to stand over it. And again, make sure it's centered and it's straight. And then stick it down. And you could do congratulations or whatever kind of thing you wanted. Now, the thing about this too is that things aren't going to roll around quite as much. Look at how it's made. It's kind of interesting how it's made that line because it's pretty flat. So there's your flat one. We've done a peekaboo one. And you know, as much fun as this kind of is, it doesn't show up the shaker part, but well, yeah, it does kind of, you know. Okay, I'm growing to like that a bit more. This is fun, but the really fun one we're going to do is coming up. Just let me move that over there. Clean the spot off a little bit. And we're going to do, where did I put that sample? Oh, you know what? I forgot. I wanted to tell you, the other thing I was going to do with this is use these, and these are from the Calligraphic Elements 2, and they really are corners. They work really well as corners. So you can put them at the corner like that. Now, I thought that was too pale, and I tried white. And I thought, well, that's okay, but I wish I hadn't then done the dots there. This is just picky, right? And then I tried that one. And I thought, yeah, that could be okay. But then, you know what? In the end, I went for the plain. What do you think? Should I have put the hearts in the corners, or should I have just left it like it is? What do you think? Hearts for nothing, just the way it is. Oh, I see one heart going up. Okay, so you think I should have put in the corners, the pink corners? Hearts for that one. There's nobody there, right? Hello? There's always a bit of a delay, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, there is a delay. So hearts at the corners, pink hearts? Yes, pink. Robin says pink. What about the white ones? You know, I think they fight too much with that stitched line in the edge. Okay. Anyways, that was just an aside that I had done, and you know, I abandoned the idea because oh, maybe just one pink corner. Yes. Yes. That's an option too. I kind of like that. Anyway, I thought that was a nice, fresh, bright looking card. And somebody would really love to get it. Even my husband might like to get it. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is don't mind me sorting everything out here, is the full-blown, but there's a trick to it, shaker card. So, because it's a bit tricky. And do you think I was a bit chintzy? Do you think I should have put more stuff in it? More stuff or less stuff? Not less, definitely not less. Okay, we're gonna do, what does this one take? This one takes oh my goodness, some days. This one takes the 3mm double-sided adhesive. It takes the Happy Birthday die. That's the Happy Birthday small. And it takes the big balloon. And I also used the stars from the Stars and Butterflies. And when you make a stencil or put that die through cardstock, then you get all these stars dropping out. And that's what I used for some of the insides of that. Now, the other thing I used, which was pretty handy and I've had around for ages, is a Stampin' Up! Product. And that is these foam adhesive strips, and they're really narrow. And I got them because I thought, gee, I wonder if these would work with Away with Word dies. And they sort of don't. It's still too wide. So let's make this card anyway. So that's some of the shaker elements. You can see those gold stars right there. And you know what I did with some of the elements? I actually glued them to the background so that they were always available to, you know, they didn't move around and there was always something in that spot. Okay, so let's take all these things out and apart. Okay, 5x7 card base. We're going to do pinks for this one. I put that aside, and I'm going to need these things. I don't think I already have one of those. Oh, I do. Okay. Don't mind me. Do you talk to yourself when you're working? Okay, so 5x7 card base. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of cardstock and die cut it. And I don't have my die cutting machine here. And I'm going to die cut it out of darker cardstock. Let's turn it over the right way. So it's going to be like that. And this is going to drop out of it. And I'm going to use that in a minute. So I'll do this out of a bigger piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to trim it down pretty substantially so that I actually have a border around the edge. And you might not want to do that, or you might want to make a slightly bigger card base than this is, because this is pretty, you actually have to put foam tape along that edge. And that's why I was happy that I had this in my stash, because I didn't have to do any fancy cutting. So the first step, basically you have to make a sandwich. So the back of the card is going to be the back of the sandwich, the card base, and then this is the top, but it has to be sealed. So we have to put this right here. Now you see it's bigger, so I'm actually going to have to trim it afterwards. But the first step is to put it on. Put on the transparency. Let's move this out of the way a little bit. Okay, you guys are going to find a new home over there. And we'll put him over there. This is the card base. Okay, so I flipped this over. And I'm just going to put this. Now this is the transparency, and I actually cut it a little shorter so that all my beady things weren't going to go right down to the bottom. So I thought I got cheap. But I'm going to bring that down there and across the top. Because again, this needs to get sealed. Because you don't want all your little shaker bits coming out everywhere. You know, I've been wanting to do shaker cards for years, and that's why I have all these little shaker bits around. But I've never gotten to them till now. So let's just not put too much on there. Okay, it goes down to, well, I've got that pretty close. Although it's not really going to matter on the back. Okay, so then again, pull off the release paper. It's Suzanne's challenge for the day. Oh, yes, what did I say? And there we go. And again, you know what? I'm going to flip this over. So there's my, so I can find my transparency, but I don't want it stuck inside my project. And I'm just going to put this, lay this down. It's going to hang out over. And all I'm going to do is trim that with a pair of scissors that I can't find. Aha. I'm starting to think I need more room for these projects. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that off because I don't need that hanging out. Okay. So we're getting better here. So it's going to go on like that. So now we add the foam that goes in there. Now, like I said before, if you've got the wide foam, no problem, because you can, I'm looking for the wide foam. Oh my goodness, I've got too much stuff today. Too many toys. Okay, it definitely is not my day. Can you guys see it? It's probably right in front of me. My nice wide foam tape. Anyways, cut. It needs to be cut. The cat came in and took it, right? So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use this rather than have to cut because I'm inherently lazy. I am going to use this Stampin' Up! Thin stuff. So I kind of want to keep this in the transparency area. I don't want it running all over the place. So I'm going to take this and start across the top. Make sure that's all down. Yeah. And you don't want it showing in the transparency area. And I'm just going to cut that little bit off because I might use it. Okay, let's smooth that out. And then this one, now if you have the wide tape and you're using it and you need to go around a corner or a curve, you can actually get greater success by taking the release paper off the top and it will bend around the corner. And I just want to try this. I think because this is such thin foam tape, it won't be a problem. Yeah, nice. And I'm going to cut that there. And let's save that for a minute from now. And this nice long piece worked so nicely. So you're making a little bowl for the shaker stuff to go in. So around the corner, oop, I'm not doing very well staying in, you know, I don't make these all the time. That's kind of why I'm being so klutzy. There, so make sure that's all pushed down. And then you just need to finish this off because it has to be all sealed off. Making like a little bowl for all the shaker bits to go into. And last one. There we go. See, if you take that off and you're wanting to go around a corner, it goes around a corner pretty easily because this is so thin. But if you've cut the wider rolls, then it can be a bit of a problem. I can't even find my wider roll anymore because it's gotten buried. Buried, totally buried. Don't mind me. Okay. Now, you know what? There's two ways to do this. And what this is the easy way to get the foam on, but then you've got to get it on here. And don't put it on yet because you haven't left a space to get the goodies in there. So probably, and what I did the first time was I actually taped that into place. And then I ran the adhesive around the outside, which is a much cleverer thing to do than what I've just done. However, I kind of think this is easier. But we're going to soldier on with what we have here because that's what we have. And what did I put in there? I put in the stars, and I didn't bring that, again, that's the die cuts from this. And I have a little bowl somewhere else with all these stars in it, gold stars. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, was it's a good idea. Let's see, what color did we go? This is definitely a boy one, right? But this is pink, so we'll go back to the pink stuff. And now we're going to have to be very clever, and we're going to have to fill this up and then put this on top. Because I wasn't very smart. So let's throw these in. And again, you're going to, just like you did with the Forever one, you're going to put the die cut on the top of the transparency at the end. And this is where you have fun, right? Oh, look. Oh my goodness, look, it's a whole stack of hearts here. Now, if you're going to tape anything down, you're going to have to do it before you put it together. Let's take some of these Fimo hearts, because they're pretty cool. I think there's lots of companies that do shaker bits. As I recall, these were pretty expensive, so check out your dollar store first. There it is. There's my wide tape. So, again, if you want to use, if this is what you have, then just trim it like that, you know, cut strips out of it. And use a pair of scissors that don't have, what are they, titanium scissors? And then you won't have the trouble that I'm having here. Okay, lots of goodies in there. And again, let's go and maybe take, because I don't have the, oh gosh, you could even put that in there, couldn't you? Underneath. Oh. What would that be like? Huh. Anyway, this isn't a Valentine's. It was going to be a happy birthday if I did that die cut, which I may not have. Oh boy, I tell you, today shouldn't have happened. I should have stayed in bed. Okay, well, let's take one of these fun little things. And this is what glue dots are great for. And a pair of tweezers, and let's do it the right way around. Even though this is a birthday card, you love the birthday person, so. And see, then that won't move around. I did this totally backwards. But we will make it work. And there. And you can do that for a number of things. This is kind of a fun little thing. Let's do that so that there'll always be something near the top. Even when it's sitting up and not being shaken. Okay, so make sure this is the way it opens, because we're going to be doing this totally reversed. And that's me being bad. So we're going to pop all the, this is the last step. No, it's not really. We have to still add the die cut to the top. Oh, this comes off nice and easy. Okay, just make sure all your release paper is off, because you don't want that to... I'm definitely going to have to stand up for this. There's probably an easier way. I can feel that with my middle fingers underneath. And just getting it straight, that's the Okay. And let's see how I did. Oh, pretty good. There we go. Okay, now you're going to find that the bottom here, because you haven't put any foam tape under there, that it's going to it will go flat. So just take a few pieces of the foam tape and stick them under in the corners. And then it'll just be nice and even. So this is not a thin card. And in Canada, you probably have to pay extra postage. I don't know about the US. There we are. There we have it. How cute is that? How happy. So that's the big balloon die. Now, because today is today, we have to pretend there's another die cut for here because I've either lost it or something. Mind you, you know what I bet I can do if I really wanted to? I could peel it off this one. But you know what? I'm not going to do... Oh, there we go. It will come off. It depends on how many glue dots I use, whether it comes off nicely. But you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just leave it like it is. So, what you should have done was taken this, put it down on the card base, and built the little bowl dam around the outside of that, not on the back of the onlay. So, my bad. And that's shaker cards. And hey, they're fun. And you could put happy birthday on there, congratulations, love you, bliss. And just make sure that the card base is a plain color, because if you start putting busy cardstock pattern paper underneath, then like what's the point in putting all these fun shaker bits in? And also it will interfere with how the message shows up on top. So let me put that out of the way and let me show you these. So there's the, where is, yeah, you know, I have it somewhere. Ooh. See, I could have put that underneath and it would have shown up and put it on top. White one would be better. There. Aww. Let's do that. Okay, flip this over. And that's the flourished heart from the Calligraphic Elements 2. There's 3 sets of that. I don't know whether they're still available. I'm pretty sure this one is. Yep, there we go. And just put that because I love you. There we go. Okay, so we've got the low profile shaker card. We've got the standard shaker card with a curve. You could do the same and it would be easier to make a full depth shaker card with a plain square frame rather than a curve. The curve adds a bit of challenge to things. And there's the other one. And don't forget, you can always use die cuts like the heart die cuts, and the Pawprints die cuts probably isn't going to work because they'll all fall apart. And then the star die cuts. And then there's the see-through shaker. Peekaboo shaker, I called it. Peekaboo shaker, low profile, standard. Any questions? I'm sort of, hi everybody. Yeah, the balloon, Dorothy, isn't that fun? Yeah, adds new life to the balloon. The balloon's great if you shade it dimensionally, if it's a plain piece of cardstock, but this adds a whole another dimension to it. Well, guys, thanks very much for coming. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to shaker cards, because I'm going to be making more of them for sure. And you know, you could even take some of these shaker bits and stick them around the front and on the top. But yeah, so, and keep in mind that it's really see, that doesn't have beads in it. It just has bits in it. And you get a way better shake with the seed beads in it. So, any questions? I don't see any questions. Oh, I'm glad, Nicole, I'm glad you like the shaker tag. Wasn't too sure about it because you don't really see things happening, but it's definitely, there's stuff happening back there. So oh, Galentine's Day. Oh, who said that? Yeah, Utah. Oh, yes. Yeah, that would be really cute. So, okay, well, thanks very much for watching. And next week, we might have something different. We have to wait and see. But we should be here 4 o'clock Pacific time. Hey, it's supposed to snow out here. Oh, you know what I hadn't noticed is how much shine you get off these. Did you see them well enough when I moved them around that you didn't get the shine on everything? Yeah? Yeah, you get the shine from all the lights. I've got a lot of lights here. So, okay, well, have a good week. Stay safe. Stay well. Stay home. And we'll see you soon. Thanks.